poppin'? It's your boy Jay the Comedian. Good morning! How are y'all doing today? How am I doing? So what? I don't care. It's Friday. I'ma feel alright. I'ma be alright. Hey, anyway, today I wanted to talk to you guys about some lawyerish type of stuff. You know what I mean? I'm no attorney, but I do find like lawyer and attorney jargon to be very interesting. And something that I thought would be very good, especially for the current climate of the Jehovah Witnesses, it's being able to see something and come up with this. Will a reasonable person come to this conclusion? Sounds simple, right? But it makes so much sense. It makes a lot of sense. It's basically saying that there are things that people say and do, and they'll try to get you to believe something, but if a reasonable person will come to a different conclusion, then that's not really what that thing is meant for, you know? And that's something that draws great comparison with the Jehovah Witnesses. You know what I mean? Like, for example, okay, Bank of America got sued not too long ago because they ran a practice in which they were getting more money from their customers than they should have been getting. What they would do, if you're familiar with overdrafts, that means if you spend more money than what's actually in your bank account, you have to pay the bank a penalty fee, which is usually about $35. But this is the thing. When you purchase something, instead of immediately taking that out of your account once that purchase is made, they'll leave it in the account, and if you're not paying attention, and you should be paying attention, you'll lose track of how much money is in your account at some point. And if you overspend the money that you have, you'll have to pay them a fee. But that's not it. They didn't stop there. They were really greedy. They would do this. Let's say you buy 5 things, right? The first thing you buy is $10, the next thing you buy is $10, the next thing you buy is $10, the next thing you buy is $10, right? And the last thing you buy is $90, okay? Now, with that said, you only had $100 in your bank account, okay? And you're thinking like, all right, I may have to pay like this one penalty fee or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be that much. I should pay one penalty fee. What they would do is hold on to everything you paid for, and they'll charge you with the biggest purchase you made first. So that $100 that's in your account, while you thinking that, you know, those little $10 purchases you made were covered, they take out that $90, and then the first $100, now you out of money. So now you're being charged 3 overdraft fees, which comes up to be almost over $100. You know what I'm saying? And they did this, and they were making billions of dollars from their customers, their loyal customers. But and the reason I bring the story up is because anybody with common sense who sees someone doing something like this, you can come to a reasonable person could come to the conclusion that they were stealing money from their customers. They figured out a way to get money from people. And that's what I met with the Jehovah Witnesses. They figured out a way to lock people into an organization and get money from them. And if I'm wrong, explain to me, can a reasonable person come to the conclusion that I've come to? If the answer is yes, then you should really start to think about the stuff that the organization does. Because this stuff isn't by accident. This is by design. These people have been doing this for 100 years. This is no accident, people. So if you sit up and you look out, right? Let's say you want to lead an organization. Yeah, I don't want to be a witness no more. I want to get out of here. Where's the door? Hey, okay, cool. You know, you can leave. There's no problem. Nobody's going to hold you here. But just know when you leave, you can't talk to your family and friends. It may rip up your marriage and your happy family at home. And your children may not speak to you no more. Your mother and father won't speak to you anymore. Your social structure and everything you built up for the rest of your life may fall apart. But yeah, you can go. A reasonable person could come to the conclusion that they have you trapped inside of this organization, which should not be a thing. But the law is on their side because they get their members to willingly do this stuff. But it should not be okay. Let's get that out in the open. This should not be okay. This should not be a thing that's done that's people are like, well, yeah, I'm trapped, but, it's fine. No, it is not fine. An organization should not be ran like that. But it's not just that. There are article after article and example after example of people quitting their good jobs so they can spend more time out in the ministry. Okay? What conclusion can a reasonable person come to from this? Now, you say, okay, well, I'm doing this for Jehovah. And, I want to bring in more people, save more lives. That's the purpose of it, right? First off, nowhere in the Bible does it say you need to spend 80 hours a month out of field service. Nowhere in the Bible. That's strictly from your brothers in Warwick. But more to it than that. Study after study after study after study have shown field service is the least effective way of drawing in more members. But it is effective, though. You know what it's effective at? Getting donations. Even if it's not a lot. Even if it's $1 or a quarter or something like that. To come to somebody's house, preaching about God, even if you don't place no watchtower, anything, you ask for a donation. And the fact that you've come to somebody's house and you didn't come on no I'm begging and I'm obviously not a homeless crackhead, people will give you money. Not a lot, but they'll give you whatever they can. On top of the donations that the Jehovah Witnesses that's locked in themselves are putting in, because the more meetings you make, the more time you're out of field service, the more time you put into the organization, the more you're hearing, hey, make a donation. Hey, if you got a couple dollars, throw it to the organization, make a donation. You know what I'm saying? The more you're around it, the more you hear it, and the more likely you are to put more money forward. So I ask you, can a reasonable person come to the conclusion that they don't want you working a full-time job so you can make them more money? Can a reasonable person come to that conclusion? And not just that. I mean, it gets crazy, people. If you are in the organization and you're not allowed to have friends or association with people outside of the organization, if you leave the organization, you will still continue to not have friends and family outside of the organization. And the problem with that is, if you can't create a life for yourself outside of the organization, you can't sustain a good, happy life. You're going to fall into some hard times. Things are going to get rough. Things are going to get unbearable, most likely. So can a reasonable person come to the conclusion that they don't allow you to not associate with people that's not in a religion to keep you spiritually clean? It's to make sure you don't have anywhere to go if you ever leave. Can a reasonable person come to that conclusion? I'm asking. And I know you guys have more examples. Put them in the comments. I want to read them. I know I ain't got them all. But this is definitely something that you need to think about if you're a Jehovah's Witness. Because you're going to be told one thing. Like Bank of America told their clients, we got your back. We're family here. We're not going to steal money from you. Come on. What are we, some greedy bank? I mean, yeah, we're not that. Yes, they were, and they are. That's why you have to look at things like that. Look at everything like that. Because when you're being told one thing, but something else is affecting you, like if you're being told that, okay, come over to my house every day, we're going to drink, we're going to have a good time, and it's going to be great. But every time you come over there, I try to stick my finger up your butt. You're going to be like, well, you told me it was going to be a good time, we're going to be drinking, having fun, but every time I come up here, try to stick your finger in my butt. You see? You to come to the conclusion, a reasonable person will come to the conclusion that I have a problem and you need to stay far away from me. I'm really not out here trying to drink and have fun with you, trying to finger you. So that's my point, man. Look at what you're being told But more than anything else, what is your gut telling you? What conclusion are you reaching from what you're actually seeing and experiencing? You know what I'm saying? That's where the buck really stops. What you're seeing and what you are experiencing should control your decision making. If you're being told the end is right around the corner, and then you look back and you say, man, they've been saying this for the last 100 years. I feel like there is no corners at all. I feel like the corner is actually a circle because we just keep going around in this circle. You know what I mean? Use your mind, people. Critical thinking. What conclusion, when you add up all the evidence, when you stop looking at getting all your information from one source, that's another thing right there. If a group is asking you to get all your information from one source, can a reasonable person come to the conclusion that they're trying to hide something? And they don't want you looking and like using your eyes, ears, and mind that you were blessed with by God, if you believe in that. You could possibly find out something that they don't want you to find out. That's what I'm saying, people. That's all I'm saying, man. Can a reasonable person come to that conclusion? Oh, I like that term. I might be using that for more often. It's getting adopted. Just like Nascada, Meanie, Holla Chiguala, all that stuff. And now it's can a reasonable person come to the conclusion? I've been educated. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great day. My day should get better. I'm feeling better just after talking to y'all. And I appreciate y'all for hanging out with your boy. Holla Chiguala. Deuces.